Dantes is a Twitch streamer and League of Legends player who went viral after clips of him making some pretty crazy takes spread across the internet.
POV, you're my girlfriend, and I just lost 10 league games in a row.
And he has managed to gain a pretty loyal and recurring audience of thousands, but today we're going to look at the cons of being such a well-known influencer, and how you could possibly get involved in a drama that could cost you your entire career. But before we get to the current drama, you're going to need to understand a bit of the backstory.
Dante started streaming himself playing League around 2018, and in that time was most likely when Dantes met his friend Tarzaned, who, like Dantes, is also a League streamer. These two apparently formed a pretty good bond with one another, and from the outside looking in, it would seem like there's nothing wrong with Dantes and Tarzaned's friendship, and it very well could have been like that for a while. But nothing controversial happened between 2018 and the spring of 2024, because it's what happened just in the last few weeks between Dantes and Tarzaned that sparked this insane controversy.
Dantes' most recent relationship was with a girl named Laura. It's unclear what time Dantes has met Laura, but it's most likely within the past couple of years.
And obviously, it's not any of this that sparked controversy, but it's what Tarzaned, a supposedly trusted friend of Dantes, said on stream about Laura that really set the drama off.
If you bring up my partner, then you are bringing up me. I'm not just gonna sit there and be like the sideline Andy just watching, be like, oh, it's between them. If the guy's randomly gonna sit there and start bringing up my girlfriend on his stream in a way that paints her in a negative light, what that does is it makes it so that now people are gonna sit there and speculate and try to like give her like that.
The reasons for this are still unclear, but it's most likely something that went on behind the scenes. What we do definitely know is that this action by Tarzaned set off the drama, and that's where this whole situation began.
Dantes was understandably mad at Tarzaned and decided to call him on Discord after the two were done streaming. And Dantes started the conversation off by asking Tarzaned why would he talk about his girl in a negative light on stream, and if they were really friends, can't Tarzaned just tell Dantes what he has against Laura? When Tarzaned heard this, he started getting really defensive and threatened Dantes, saying that he had a quote-unquote or truth bomb that would, in Tarzaned's words, ruin her.
He instantly became super defensive, right? Started saying things like, well, listen, if you're gonna sit here and you're gonna start exposing stuff about me, then I can ruin her. He was saying things like he had an ultimate truth bomb against her. He was implying that he had such a crazy story against her that I would do best to stop talking about the situation at all, because he was gonna sit there and he was gonna expose something.
This leads to the question, what is this truth bomb that Tarzaned claimed could ruin Laura's life? Well, after some further questioning from Dantes, Tarzaned responded with this story.
So after a few minutes of trying to reason with him, he sits there and his response is, well, the was that at one point in Brazil, she was kind of like talking you behind your back, and the actual reality of the situation was that she was bringing up a problem that we had in our relationship to TF Blade, and Tarzaned was just sitting on the sidelines overhearing it. But then at the end of it, she was like, oh yeah, by the way, yeah, I mean, Dantes always works on improving and he always works on bettering himself, so I don't hold it against him.
And that's apparently what Tarzaned threatened Dantes with. And honestly, if this was just the end of it, I probably wouldn't be making this video, because up to this point, it was just some petty drama that shouldn't have made it into the public eye. But sadly, it gets much worse.
A couple weeks later, after all of this drama had unfolded, Dantes decided that it would be best if him and Laura broke up. As far as we know, it was not due to any of the current drama so far, but instead it was due to a much more understandable reason, and that reason was Dantes needing some time away from the relationship.
But the reason why I made the decision for us to split was because at the time of us talking, we kind of reached this weird agreement where I said I needed time to think about things, and she said that if I needed time apart from her, then it would have to be a breakup. It was her boundary that she was saying a couple should be able to work through everything, which I completely understood and respected.
Now when Tarzaned caught wind of this, he went on stream immediately, declaring an apology from both Dantes and Laura. And in the stream, Tarzaned continued to make accusations against Laura, and yet again, Tarzaned claimed he had another truth bomb to drop on Laura. And when Dantes had heard this unfold, he went live to try to explain some of the drama, and at the same time, Tarzaned mysteriously stopped streaming. It was only hours later that Tarzaned came back and went live for just a couple of minutes, and even even though the stream only lasted for a short amount of time, it left a long and lasting impact, because it was on this stream that Tarzan did something which turned what could have just been a forgettable breakup drama into one of the worst influencer controversies of the year so far.
Tarzan literally decided to leak Laura's and Dante's abortion.
As you say, you want to own up and be a man. Finally, this is your time to be a man and like own up to everything. That's what your tweet said, right? 1 month into the relationship, Laura was pregnant with Dantes' child. And when she's at her most vulnerable, scared, anxious, he let her fly back to Germany to get an abortion while he stayed home and streamed League, basically, is a TLDR. And that is the basically, just to show his character as a human being.
This obviously took the drama from 0 to 100 real quick, and there were many mixed opinions about Tarzan and what went on in Dantes and Laura's relationship. But shortly after the stream by Tarzan, Dantes made a response.
But the fact that he decides to leak something like that as some kind of truth, the fact that this disgusting piece of sits there and talks in front of thousands of people, leaking probably the most traumatic thing that either of us has ever had to go through. The fact that this disgusting freak of a human being thinks... Because the thing is that it's not even just because I know that people are going to go after me because of it. That's whatever. But you have somebody that literally did nothing to you. And now there are going to be thousands of people messaging her death threats, commenting about a situation that they had no right to know about.
This is honestly one of the worst situations I've seen in a while. Nobody should have to deal with their private life getting leaked to the public like this, and nobody should have the right to leak it to the public. And it's honestly really sad to see that the only reason this happened was because Tarzan used to be a really close friend of Dantes, and Dantes and Laura trusted Tarzan to keep this a private matter. But Tarzan broke that trust in an instant just because he felt like it. Here's Laura's response.
And it's so disgusting to me that this man-child talks about respect, talks about how adult-like he is to go online and talk about my trauma. I don't care if you're mad with Dantes, that's not my business. Don't put me into something that I didn't inflict on you. And not just not ask me for the permission, but also lie about it. How disgusting must you be?
I feel so bad for Dantes and Laura. Tarzan has since released a lengthy apology tweet in which he states that he wants to apologize for those who have been hurt by his recent actions. And he goes on to say that the reason he acted this way was because he wanted to, quote, highlight someone's true character. If you want to hear more from Tarzan's side, feel free to go read the Old Testament of a tweet he made. And if you want a good but lengthy explanation of the drama, go watch Dantes' My Final Response video. Currently, that's the last major update of the drama, and I honestly really hope that's the end of it. Tell us what you guys think of this crazy situation in the comments below.